In this video, we'll talk about when to develop tech talent. As this is the fifth video in the series on developing tech talent, I highly recommend you go back and you check out the other videos in this series after watching this one. They will provide a good amount of depth and breadth on this very critical and impactful subject. Now, let's get into when to develop tech talent in your organization. For this, you'll have three options. One, you can develop tech talent after you need it, which is probably what the majority of us do. Two, you can develop tech talent when you need it. And three, you can develop tech talent before you need it. Give us some thought. Which one of these fits your organization? I'll briefly go through and discuss how each one of these impacts your organization. Option one, you develop tech talent after you need it. This means that you had a tech challenge or a problem in your organization. You had no one in your organization that could solve or even help you solve it. So you either still have that problem or you needed a third party to come in and help you address it. Based on what I've seen, most organizations fall into option one. You develop after you need it. Worse, most are perpetually in this nightmare of a situation because they're never developing. They're consistently behind the curve with tech challenges and constantly accepting defeat with tech, and consequently, the organization suffers. Sure, you may go through some of these heroic efforts with some of the people in your organization where they band together and work a crazy number of hours to develop a workaround for a problem. But was all of that really necessary? Is that a good idea to do every time? I'll leave you folks alone for now. Let's talk about option two. You develop tech talent when you need it. Honestly, this sounds amazing, doesn't it? You're able to match the development of tech talent perfectly with the needs and issues and challenges that happen within your organization. What could be better? I'll make this real short and sweet. If you're able to time things up that perfectly, where you're developing tech talent at the same rate that your organization's needs arise, and they marry up perfectly, you're in the wrong business. You should be doing something else with your time, something much more lucrative with your powers. Here's the harsh reality. Most of us don't know when we'll experience the problems or the challenges where we'll need to have tech talent develop to help us solve them. We just don't know. And most of us cannot predict when the people we're developing will be ready to tackle those problems. We can guess and we can forecast, which is what we should do, but we don't know. Now, if there's a project that you're planning where you can try to time everything up well in advance, then you may be able to develop tech talent exactly when needed. But as most of us know, even with the best projects, things don't always go as planned. That leads me to the final option. You develop tech talent before you need it. As you can guess, this would be my recommendation. In my professional opinion, this is always going to be the right answer. Why? Because you never know when you'll need the value that the people you're developing will bring to your organization. And you don't know how long it will take them to develop. Therefore, if you make developing tech talent a business practice or a part of your culture where it's baked in, you're consistently preparing for the inevitable. So when the inevitable does happen, which could be a big problem or a big project or a series of projects, your organization is always prepared to be successful. The best part is that your organization is constantly growing and improving because the skills and abilities and capabilities of the people within your organization are consistently expanding. To me, that is the ultimate win-win.